we're kind of in the second stage of technology deployment. Smartwatches are very well used, easily available. There's a lot of choice. Many people, healthy patients, are used to smartwatches kind of providing insights in how they live their life, connecting to the internet and what have you. So in a trial with patients suffering from a chronic condition in the cardiovascular space, we felt, let's use a smartwatch in, this is a phase 2 setting, so relatively large numbers, to understand activities of daily living measured through the smartwatch, using the actigraphy capabilities in the smartwatch. That correlates with the diagnostic, the evolution of disease, and it may also show over time a response to treatment or the need to alter treatment and what have you. It's an elegant way, relatively non-invasive, to monitor patients and to generate insights that are quite specific to the individual and how they live their life. So that was all proven, the evidence was there, and we felt good. So we did design implementation metrics so we could monitor how smartwatches were being used, how the data was coming in, and we could react relatively quickly to patterns we were picking up. And the pattern we found was quite consistent across different sites. This was in an international setting, was quite consistent across different countries. And it was a pattern where patients, study participants, started using the smartwatch for a couple of days, and then they stopped using it, or they would only use it inconsistently. And that made us wonder, like, is there a battery problem where they struggle with charging? Is there something else? So we went to the sites, talked to the study coordinators, and we surveyed patients. And what we learned, these were youngsters, 12 to 18 years of age, and they are super technology savvy. They're completely social media and everything, and the smartwatches are part of their way of living. The problem was that the smartwatch we'd chosen, they didn't want to be seen with. They just didn't like it. It was not cool. It was a medical grade device, scientific performance, validation, verification, met all the marks, but the patients didn't like it. And so there is overlap with the earlier anecdote that we focused on the science, the performance, the safety, everything that came with the technology. We forgot to ask the simple question to the patients, like, do you mind using this? Is this something you want to be seen with? And of course, a smartwatch on your wrist is very visible. When you're sitting in a classroom and your mates and your friends, they see this, they may ask questions. You may not want that. So the form factor was wrong, and that is something that could have resulted in a different type of device, maybe a patch that sits on your body out of sight, maybe more choice in color, in other form factor items. But it was a painful way to learn, because this is where the data was actually critical for the study, and we didn't get enough data, which, to Jennifer's point, prolonged the study, it took longer, and etc. So relatively easy to solve once you know it. And to Steve's point, the root cause that can be addressed is the same. Ask the patient, ask the user, figure out whether they like the technology as proposed, whether it fits their way of living, whether they want to be seen, whether they can use it. All the usability criteria are critical in successful deployment of technology.